If your Etsy shop is feeling like a major ghost town right now, this video is really going to help you to walk you through that. It's probably not because the algorithm has singled you out. Usually it's because your shop is giving off one of two vibes. Either I am creating my listings for robots, for the algorithm, not for humans. I'm keyword stuffing. I'm just getting as much out there as I possibly can, like a real quantity over quality. Or it's that your shop is extremely random and no one really knows what it is that you stand for, what your brand is all about. Your shop becomes very forgettable. If you've been getting a few views, the odd favorite, maybe your auntie or your parents or, family friend has kind of shown you support and bought a couple of things from you, but there's not really been a lot of real buyer activity, you need to watch this video. Because basically today we are going to be giving you a real mini shop audit. But the first thing that I really want to go through is identifying which is the right problem. So I have my iPad here that you can see on screen. I have my notes here, and I really want us to go through this together like we're sat in a coffee shop and I'm sat opposite you and we're going through your shop. So a quiet Etsy shop does not always mean that no one can find you. I do really feel that a lot of people will try Etsy for 4 to 6 months and then kind of just go, oh, I've been trying really hard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, if this is you, you need to listen up to this bit here, even if this is the only golden nugget that you take away from this video. So sometimes people are finding you, they are just not buying from you, okay? And that is a completely different issue than no one is seeing my stuff, okay? So you need to ask yourself, how many visits am I getting? Which listings are getting seen? Are people favoriting things but not buying? Are they clicking and leaving? Because there's a difference between low views and low conversion, okay? So for each one of these, so for this one here, for traffic, you really want to be looking at your visits, okay? Individual visits to your shop, not views, visits, okay? For this one, you want to be looking at your conversion rate as a percentage, all right? So with your visits, if you are getting less than 100 every single week, you definitely do have a traffic problem, okay? Because your shop should be getting at least 100 a week. Now, for your conversion rate, I would ideally like that to be sitting between 1 to 5%. So if that gives you some benchmarks, obviously these two numbers depends heavily on, what you sell, your target audience, your brand, and all that good stuff, okay? So the first step of this is really understanding which of these two things you have to work on. Yes, your shop probably needs to work on the two of these, but the very first thing that you want to be looking at is traffic. And again, you need to be getting at least 100 visits a week to your shop. If not, what ends up happening is you can't actually get an accurate view on your conversion rate if you don't have at least 100 visits, not views, again, visits, every single week, okay? So this is why if you're not, traffic is the first thing you need to work on, okay? So if it gets to the 3-month mark where you've consistently been getting 100 visits every single week, then we can look at our conversion rate, because then we have a more accurate view as to what our true shop conversion rate is, okay? So again, this is why before we get into this, I want to make sure that you have identified what is your biggest problem. Now, you cannot try and fix both of these at the same time. It does not work, okay? However, what you want to do is you want to focus on one, okay? Okay, so problem number one, why your Etsy shop feels like a ghost town, is your SEO sounds really, really robotic, okay? One of the biggest issues that I see is sellers are so focused on keywords and appeasing an algorithm and pleasing Etsy that they kind of miss out on the fact that there are real eyeballs looking at their listing. So the title inevitably ends up sounding a little bit like this: personalized gift, handmade, custom, floral, unique, cute, cottagecore, birthday present for her. That is not a title. That is a absolute mess, especially for a human pair of eyes. That is a title that has been written for a robot. Yes, obviously search terms matter, but if your title sounds clunky, generic, or stuffed to death, buyers are just going to scroll on by, because buyers really want to know, and they want to know quickly what it is, who it's for, and why should I care. Like, that is literally the three things that buyers need to know about your listing ASAP, within 5 seconds or less. So you want to go and have a look at your listings and just 100% make sure that your title, your description, even your photos are created for real human eyeballs, for specifically your target market, not written like a bunch of text. Problem number 2, your photos are making buyers work too hard. What I find, especially with that first thumbnail image, is that a lot of shops will use a very busy thumbnail image, okay? And like, you have to imagine, when people are shopping on their phones, they have such a small amount of screen space, therefore your first picture becomes exceedingly small, and they have to judge from that itty bitty picture whether or not your listing is for them or not. So I see things like too many props, dark images, busy backgrounds, odd cropping, different photo styles across different listings, and it's really confusing, especially for a buyer's eye. So to put this into context, your first photo has one job, and this one job is to help the buyer understand what they're looking at in under a second or less. Because, like I said, Etsy buyers, they are scanning super fast. So for example, if you're selling a piece of jewelry, let's say earrings, right? And the first image is got ribbon in it, it's got dried flowers in it, it's got a jewelry tray in it, it's got a hand, it's got half a book, and somewhere within that is the actual jewelry piece, people are going to get confused. Are they buying the mug? Are they buying the ribbon? What on earth are they actually buying? So basically, your first image should say, here's the product, here's what it looks like. Yes, you can trust this. Clean background, consistent lighting, product is easy to see, no detective work required. Then after that first thumbnail image, you can do the prop shots, the lifestyle images, etc. But that very first photo is so important. Okay, problem number 3 is your shop branding is truly all over the freaking show, okay? This one sneaks up. It really does. Because you've got like a pastel logo, dark moody photos, luxury banner, casual titles, listing for mugs, baby bibs, wedding favors, dog bandanas. That is not a brand. That is honestly a jumble sale. A buyer needs to land in your shop as a whole, not just one listing, but your entire shop, and go, yes, I get this. I can see what this shop is all about. I'm vibing with this brand because I understand it and I'm connecting with it. Not every single shop needs to be super niche. Not every shop needs to look the same, but there does need to be some kind of common thread, okay? A clear type of buyer, a clear feel, a clear purpose, and a sense that the products genuinely belong together. Because when your shop feels very random, the trust instantly drops because your buyer cannot figure you out quickly. Which at the end of the day, like I said, when they are shopping on their phone, they need to figure out you, your brand, and your shop, your products very quickly. And if you're making that hard for them, they're going to go, this is not giving me the vibe, I'm just going to leave. Okay, so if your conversion rate is very low, that is a top contender as to why. And a side thing, this is why adding more listings doesn't always fix a quiet shop. Because in fact, you might be adding more products, which might be like hammering this problem in even more. Like you're basically digging yourself into a bigger hole because you're adding more products and you're just confusing your brand all over again. So ask yourself, who is this shop really for? What kind of moment or problem am I actually helping with? What ties these products together? Basically, your buyer needs a clearer signal than just, I make things. Does that make sense? Problem number 4. Your listing page is not answering customer objections. Now, if you've been on any of my lives or challenges, you might have heard me say something along the lines of every buyer has objections before they add your product to their cart. Your job as a business owner is to understand your target audience enough to know what they are and to bust them in the listing description, the listing photos, literally everywhere within your listing, including the frequently asked questions as well. Basically, all this to say, a lot of buyers Do not leave your listing because they absolutely hate you. They hate your listing. They hate your pricing. And, this is going into a whole other thing. But I see a lot of people think, my prices must be too high. And as you can see with all these problems on screen so far, that is not always a problem. In fact, it's probably the very bottom of the pile. As a coach, when I'm looking at your Etsy shop or your website and I'm looking at this, like pricing is at the very bottom of my list to check. They leave because they wobble. They leave because they're left wondering, how big is it really? Will it look like this in person? Is it really worth the price? Can I gift this? Will it arrive in time? If your listing page does not answer those questions clearly, they tend to just drift off. Here are some things to check. You want to make sure your descriptions accurately are describing the product. Your copy is selling the product. This is something that I don't know why, but handmade business owners I find really struggle to get the grasp of. Sales copy is really, really, really important. Okay, like they are mini salespeople that sell for you 24 hours a day. So anything that you type, any piece of text within your business that is designed to sell, that's listings, that's social media, that's emails, must be like treated as a sacred piece of sales copy. And I think problem number 4 really hammers that home. So you need to check your listings and you need to check them for reassurance. Is it kind of convincing them that this is the right product choice for them? Are the dimensions obvious? Are the materials super clear? Is it clear who it's for, how it's used, and what makes it special? Are your photos backing that up? And just all in all, look at your entire listing. It's telling a story. There is a clear beginning, middle, and end point. The end point obviously being they add it to their cart and they buy. Problem number 5. I see this a lot, especially with newbies, is that you are chasing tricks and hacks and things instead of actually building a business that works. Not only works for Etsy, but also works for you as well. If every single week you are changing your titles, panicking over trends, redesigning your banner, adding random products, your shop will definitely feel a little bit unstable. And as a business, it will be unstable as well. Sustainable sales does not come from constantly reacting to every new change, to every new thing, to every slow week or month. Sales come from getting those basics down and solid so that it acts as a foundation to your entire business built on top. These include things like your core products, your photos, your shop message, your best listings, your customer journey, and your stats. Because when you build these foundations, your shop will give you all of the stats and all of the information that you need. So for example, if traffic is down, you know your visibility, aka your traffic, needs work. If favorites are high, but sales are low, that points to hesitation or trust. If clicks are good, but no one buys, the listing page is more than likely the issue. The next thing that I want you to do is I really want you to go and watch this video next. I'll put a little picture of the thumbnail and the title on screen now, but this talks about your niche and how to niche the right way, because that is one of the solid foundational things that you need for your business to work. So go and watch this video next. The next thing I want you to do is to go to the description of this video, podcast, wherever you are consuming this, and download the freebie, Why Your Etsy Listings Aren't Selling Yet and What to Do About It. I promise you that freebie is literally going to walk you through all of the things that is going wrong and exactly how to fix it. So go and watch this video, go and download this freebie. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in that niche video and in the freebie.